Last week's killer cliffhanger on General Hospital played out as most predicted. I think it's probably safe to say Gladys is now more hated by many fans than Nina. It seems someone is out to get Anna, but who? Finally, the Deceptor drama is still holding onto its trade secrets. As I pondered in my column last week, Curtis was the most likely to be shot at the Metro Court pool, and he was. It perfectly sets up not only his and Portia's reunion, but a growing closeness with Trina, who actually called him her dad in the midst of the chaos. During the scenes when the doctor said they would need a massive blood transfusion, for a split second, I thought, here we go, Ms. Wu changed the results. But it never came to be. And honestly, Portia is a doctor, and if there was a blood type mismatch, you'd think she'd have figured that out long ago, and there would have been no need for this secrecy. Of course, because the bullet was so close to Curtis' spine, even Portia and Trina worry about what we all have guessed is likely coming, that Curtis will be paralyzed from the waist down. And we all know what happens when a man on a soap is paralyzed, don't we? They become bitter and jaded, and push those closest to them away. Curtis also has a problem with addiction, which could really send his character into a dark, downward spiral. However, the number of times we've had to hear Trina cry, Curtis could be paralyzed, almost makes me think they won't go there, and we already have enough people with amnesia as is. Maybe Curtis will come out of this fine. Meanwhile, Friday's episode had Dante revealing to Anna the ghost gun was initially seized by the WSB and should be locked away with a ton of similar ones they took in a raid. That left Anna believing someone who was put in danger by her double agent past is the likely shooter. Now, I wasn't watching way back when all this double agent business went down, so without doing some web research, couldn't begin to guess who it could be. However, 3 suspects immediately come to mind who would want to take out Anna, and hopefully it's none of them. They would be brainless zombie Faison, supposedly drowned twisted twin Alex, and please still be dead Peter. Then again, if they are going to just make up some random person Anna crossed in the past we never met, what would be the point? We still aren't any closer to discovering who first invented the Deceptor. It seems clear that is who Tracy is working with, but why then does Martin want no credit? It looked like he may have borrowed the idea from an ex-wife when he whispered it to Lucy, but now we learn his third ex-wife is loaded and pays him alimony. So how does Martin fit into all of this? I'm still enjoying this mystery, especially now that Felicia and Lucy have gone to Pine Valley and met Jackson Montgomery. Perhaps if Martin was credited for Lucy's success, the wife would have reason to claim he is wealthy enough not to need repayments. Then again, if that was so, why wouldn't Martin just ditch the payments and marry Lucy, and take a share of the Deceptor profits? As they did with Jackson, I hope the show pulls in more characters from All My Children or One Life to live into this storyline, if only for brief appearances like they did Nora Buchanan, and they aren't leaped ahead of their appearance on screen. Think of how much more of a surprise it would have been if we didn't know Jackson was going to show up. One person has had enough of the deception though, and that was Brooke Lynn. She finally stood up to Tracy and told Chase about the review board, and that's why she was working for Deception. But she still hasn't told him why Tracy wants her there, as he was called off to haul Sasha off to jail. I was so glad Chase didn't play into his old patterns and end things with her again. Brooke Lynn telling the truth is finally showing growth, and so is Chase by not walking away from her. Sadly, Tracy has pointed out BLQ committed corporate espionage, which Chase won't be too happy about. How will Brooke Lynn continue to explain why she's working there to Chase? And BLQ made a good point to Tracy. She got her everything there was anyways, so what else can she do? So many viewers have asked. Why do the writers seem to hate Sasha so much? Every time she is able to get her life together after one horrific event, they throw another at her. The hyper way she was acting at the boutique should have clued Maxie into the fact that something was off with her, but of course, Maxie had to leave so Sasha could get into trouble for stealing some clothes. Monty told Gladys, who claimed she really did care about Sasha and didn't want to see her hurt, that the mix of medications wasn't dangerous, it would just cause Sasha to act out. Gladys sure has a funny way of showing she cares about Sasha, more like just cares about her money. And what exactly is in this for Dr. Monty? Also, I've never been in a hospital situation where the doctor just brings your medication to you. You always have to go through the hospital pharmacy to make sure the meds don't interact with something you are taking. Maybe that's just where I live, or maybe this is just how it works in Soapland. Cody and Nina both stopped by to check on Sasha, and they could both tell something wasn't right. Again, knowing her history, why is no one questioning if she's on something? I loved that Cody wouldn't put up with Gladys' bull, but wish he would just out and tell Sasha the truth about Gladys. Then again, given the beating he almost got from Mr. Lai, he knows not to cross Ms. Wu. I really liked the mini showdown between Nina and Gladys, because it highlighted how different these two women, who so many viewers hate, are. Nina does stupid things without thinking them through and only after realizes her mistakes and how she's hurt people. And she showed this week that not only does she want what's best for Sasha, but she was also there for Portia Curtis' entire family. The scene of her giving them hope by telling them about a talk she had with him about how much he loved when his whole family was at his club was really touching. No, Nina's not perfect, but Gladys has shown she's a vile piece of, well, whatever the worst thing on earth is. The little tiff between Joss and Esme at the hospital seemed to ruffle Esme a bit, and Joss felt she saw a bit of the real Esme peeking through. She's not wrong, as it's become clear that even if Esme doesn't remember, she's developed feelings for Spencer and doesn't like him around Trina. As Joss said, the spiteful Esme might start coming out soon. I just couldn't get into the whole tiff between Christina and Molly and this servicey storyline. I did chuckle when TJ compared Christina to Jan Brady, because I'm a huge Brady Bunch fan. Maybe it's just me, but it feels like Molly is over-dramatizing how selfish Christina is out of her own current hurt and pain. When she calmed down, she realized Christina might be their best bet at a child with both her and TJ's DNA, but on Friday she was once again lashing out at her sister for making her baby all about herself. Just walk away, Christina, and focus on your youth center. So Curtis' shooting has finally made Finn and Liz realize how precious life is, and they aren't promised a tomorrow, so they're giving their relationship another shot. As I suggested last week, this is now the perfect time for Hayden to return home and really stir things up. Otherwise, yawn. And speaking of yawning, Michael and Wiley's big French surprise for Willow was more filler than you'd find in a crepe. Hurry up and get well, Willow, so you and Michael can take a year-long trip around the world. That's my opinions and thoughts for the show this week. As always, leave yours in the comments below. GH Spoilers Weekly Update for July 17 to 21, 2023. Tease that the week ahead is full of shocks and cat and mouse games. Tune in next week so you can catch all of the action in Port Charles. This was a big week in Port Charles. Curtis, Donald Turner, was the one who took a bullet at the Metro Court pool. It was lodged near his spine, which made the surgery even more tricky. Luckily for him, TJ, Taj Bello, was able to step in and help see him pull through as Trina, Tabiana Ali, and Portia Brooke Kerr worried about the outcome. Gladys, Bonnie Burrows, claimed to care about Sasha, Sophia Matson, but that didn't keep her from letting her gambler Dr. Powell from prescribing pills to her daughter-in-law, which caused her to get arrested by Chase, Josh Swickard. Realizing things went a little too well with her plan, Gladys tried to run interference. Coming up, Anna, Finola Hughes, is going to want to get the jump on Curtis's shooter, and in order to do that, she wants to offer herself up as bait. Look for Dante, Dominic Zamprogna, to step up and help her try to make this happen. These two have a special bond, but will they be able to figure out what happened before someone takes another shot? The fun in Pine Valley also continues as Lucy, Lynn Herring, does her best to keep Jackson Montgomery, Walt Willey, occupied so Felicia, Christina Wagner, can do what she does best, detective work. But will Lucy be able to distract Jack long enough for Felicia to get the goods on Marty, Michael E. Knight? Be sure to check out the daily breakdown below for more on what's coming up. Ava makes a confession. Leo acts out. Lucy turns on the charm. Austin relays a message. Chase tracks down Ned. Brooklyn is relieved. Alexis runs interference. Gregory surprises Tracy. Mac offers his assistance. Sam comes clean. Sasha does damage control. Taggart checks on Trina. Portia questions Spencer. Christina works through her feelings. Molly opens up to Sam. Sam plays mediator. Austin is overly confident. Gladys is alarmed. Maxie defends a friend. Esme seeks answers. Dex gets a new assignment. Jocelyn gets shocking news. Drew is suspicious. Nana rushes to the hospital. Ava reassures Austin.